Hey friends, Neil here from Post to Post, teeing up another conversation that Kale and I had. It was the Saddledome versus Rogers Place. We got to see two NHL games in both arenas, so we decided to sit down and have our conversation about the experience at both arenas and kind of compare them. Hope you enjoy it. Here it is. Howdy friends, Neil here from Post to Post, joined with my friend Kale. You've likely seen him on his channel collecting jerseys over there, but I am in Calgary right now, as you can probably tell from all of Kale's jerseys behind me. We live on different parts of the country, so I'm not in my studio, but
this is the second headquarters.
This is,
no, I guess technically this is probably the third. PEI would be
Post to Post
second.
Studio C.
Yeah,
this is
yeah. I'll take it. That's a win.
Yeah, and we recently saw a hockey game. Edmonton Oilers, they faced the Ottawa Senators, and the Calgary Flames, they faced the Dallas Stars. So we got to see two NHL games within, I think, 3 or 4 days from one another.
What, Tuesday and then Saturday?
Yeah, Tuesday, Saturday. And we got to see the Rogers Place Arena for your first time, for my first time, and the Saddledome for my first time, but not your first time.
No, probably like the 20th or something.
Yeah, so we thought we'd have just a little bit of a discussion on both individually and then kind of compare them. Yep. So the first game that we saw was Edmonton versus Ottawa. So what was your initial impressions walking up to the venue? And I'll show some video. I'll put some video on the screen as we kind of go through this.
Mind blowing. It exceeded all expectations. I have an Oilers jersey. I have a lot of Oilers jerseys. I spent a long time hating the Oilers. They were least favorite team in the league. I did not really like anything about them. Didn't really like their jerseys, players, really nothing. But over the past couple of years, my stance kind of softened on them a little bit. And now I enjoy them, and going to the arena, I wasn't sure what to expect because it is so new. I was expecting it to be overly priced for snacks and things like that. I wasn't really too sure what to kind of overall expect with the actual, arena itself, like the seats and the sight lines and the atmosphere. I wasn't sure what to expect there.
Well, we've seen lots of photos and video of it outside for Hockey Night in Canada. They show lots of stuff, and it's a beautiful looking arena from the outside. It looks like a big giant spaceship almost as you're walking up to it. But I think maybe what was most impressive of our initial kind of take of it was once we got into the building and just even walking up to security.
Even before that, the team store outside of the building.
Right, we should mention that.
That blew my mind. Like, that set the tone for the rest of the night for me, essentially.
Yeah, it's a huge team store.
Like,
and
there's so many options for things for sale.
Yeah.
Massive team store.
And game used stuff as well.
Like, a bunch of jerseys, reverse retros, practice jerseys, made in Canada, like game worn jerseys, equipment, gloves, helmets, pants, hockey sticks, and not just the fourth liners. There was McDavid and Draisaitl sticks and Nugent Hopkins sticks, which blew my mind because that's not a thing in Calgary. The team store has essentially just kind of those fourth line. I have a Derek Ryan stick and a Michael Backlund. I love Backlund, but he's not McDavid. That just kind of blew my mind.
And we had someone else with us as well, Mika. He was a Flyers fan. Your favorite team's Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. Mine's Montreal Canadiens. So we all went into it not really emotionally invested, completely objective. We just wanted to really take it in and kind of experience it almost secondhand, I guess, as a non-Oilers fan. And walking in that team store was a wonderful first impression. It was huge. There were lots of stuff in there. Practice jerseys that had weird rubber material that we'd never felt before. So that was an interesting experience. They have lots of hats.
Pucks, puck galore. They were everywhere in different kinds. It was spectacular to be.
It was, and that wasn't actually connected to the arena. That was just kind of off to the side. And then once you get out of there, you walked up.
There was
an outdoor rink,
and then a little fire pit.
It was amazing,
and some restaurants down there.
A really cool atmosphere.
Living in Calgary, and I feel like Edmonton people would agree with this. You kind of make fun of the other city a little bit, Calgary sucks or Edmonton sucks. But I don't necessarily have the best impression of Edmonton when I think about it, but that whole downtown area with the arena and stuff, they've done a really good job of making that little area quite nice where the arena is.
I've never been to the previous arena, which I think was the Rexall
Place or something like that.
Yeah, whatever it was called. I drove around it back in 2010. That's the only experience I had of it. But the location of the Edmonton Arena, it was walkable from our hotel.
Yep.
It felt safe. It was really, really beautiful down there, like we said. And it was just a really good experience just getting there, and just before we even entered the main door, it was great. And then once you get in the door, unbelievable. Like this walking up the stairs, there were like letters on the stairs or something. Just giant ceilings. They're just so vast and stuff.
And escalators. They don't have that in the Saddledome.
No, yeah, we'll get into that here in a little bit. But even just getting to security, like there was this like oil tower thing.
I think that's what they used to skate through in the playoffs, like when
you're right.
At Rexall Place. I think that's what that was, because I was looking for it up in the ceiling of Rogers Place, and I didn't see it. So I'm wondering if that's the same one that the players used to skate out.
That would be cool.
Arena.
Yeah, but that was neat to see. And then that was we weren't even to security yet at that point. We were just getting there. Then you get into security, and then you get into the main concourse area where there's food and there's little team stores and stuff like that.
50-50 tickets.
50-50
all the
tickets.
Fun stuff.
And you see the food prices and stuff, and they're high. They're probably higher than anywhere I've been to from a sports venue. I don't know what you, but
they weren't as bad as I was expecting. When I'm a simple guy, I just want my bottle of water and a bag of popcorn. From what I'd heard and what I kind of was told about this place was, that's going to be like $30. It wasn't anything, vastly different than Calgary for snacks for myself. I think I spent $16, $17, which is pricey for water and popcorn, but when you say it a lot,
we're not the typical fan that's going to buy a beer and wings and a hot dog and all this stuff and spend, minimum $50 per person. Yeah. We're probably not the best study case for an average fan, but it wasn't crazy expensive. You could make an argument. I don't go to Edmonton games that much. It's a big night, I'll spend whatever it takes, kind of thing. Yeah. That's fine.
That's kind of how I approach it. I'm like, I don't know the next time I'm gonna end up in that arena and watching a game. So, I got myself a couple little things at the team store, and
you
popcorn
got a shirt
and water
and
a little keychain.
And the walk from post security to anywhere else in the arena, to our seats, to down near the bottom of the glass, like everything was just so easy to walk around. You never felt like you were running into other people or you were in someone's way. It was always just easy to get to where you needed to go.
Yep.
And I think you were mentioning one of the things you were surprised at is how easy it was to leave your seat, get something, and come back. I don't want to maybe get into the comparison right away, but compared to the Saddledome.
Unbelievable. Like, the Saddledome, I can go, I'll sit down, kind of see where my seats are. Be like, all right, before the game starts, I'm going to go go to the bathroom and grab my snacks or whatever and make it back. And depending on the game, obviously, if it's a busy Saturday night game, that's going to be, a bit busier than a Tuesday night game. But still, like, within seconds of sitting down, the game is next period or whatever is starting. Edmonton, I had plenty of time. I went, we sat down, saw the seats.
Yeah.
We watched a bit of warm-ups. I went and got snacks, went to the bathroom, and kind of still had time to mosey around the team store and kind of check out the arena a little bit, walk around. And I wasn't bumping into people. I wasn't, shoulder to shoulder, like jammed together. And I still was able to make it back to my seat with, I think, over 10 minutes left until the actual start of the game, which that in itself blew my mind. I've never had that in Calgary.
Yeah, you weren't gone very long, and you came back with all this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was just really easy to get around in the arena. Now the game itself was good. Not the hockey itself. I mean, hockey's always going to be good when you watch it live. But as far as the atmosphere in Edmonton, it was good. It was fine. They did maybe one giveaway. I don't remember.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of fan interaction.
But I'm wondering, we were talking, I think was it Audie or something? And he was mentioning that it could be because it was a Tuesday game versus the fan interaction that we got on a Saturday in Calgary.
Yes.
Because, spoiler, the atmosphere and the overall vibe of the arena, Calgary wins that, hands down. Yeah. But that could be because...
Could be a Tuesday versus Saturday thing. We don't know.
And we can only go on what we experienced.
Yep.
Two vastly different in-game experiences.
Yep, but Edmonton wasn't bad.
No, not at all.
There were points where the wave was going.
Yep.
There was a couple of cheers and stuff. The mascot, forget his name, I don't know.
Hunter, I think.
he got the crowd going a couple of times and stuff.
He won me over. I did not like him at all, but he did some good stuff in this
yeah,
one. He pulled up his shirt and he showed his ripped abs, and it was hilarious.
He is pretty funny.
Yeah.
And the hockey was great as well. McDavid was everywhere, as he usually is.
And we had pretty good seats, amazing lower bowl.
Game. Yeah, we were on the 9th row, lower bowl. So that was by far the best seats I've ever had at an NHL game. So that was amazing, actually, to do that.
Nugent Hopkins scored right in front of me, so I like Nuge. He's my favorite Oiler, and that made me pop pretty good. I was pretty happy to see that.
Get to listen to the goal horn in person,
yes,
which was awesome.
It is the worst goal horn I have ever heard on TV, but in person, you know what? It wasn't as bad as it sounds on TV, so
yeah. And
it won me over.
Their whole intro leading up to the players coming on the ice, that was awesome.
And just multiple times, I was just literally just looking up and around at the arena, and it was so clean. It was
very
gorgeous.
Clean.
It was absolutely beautiful building.
Yeah, and once the game ended, we stuck around for a little bit because I live in New Brunswick, so the next time that I see an Oilers game might be 15 years from now. I have no idea. That might be in a different arena by the next time I watch them play. So I wanted to take it in a little bit. So we stayed behind a little bit, but it was still kind of busy walking out and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was never we're never shoulder to shoulder.
No.
You never were trying to get around someone. It was just so much room. So it was a really, really great experience from a fan.
It's not like the arena wasn't full of people. Like it still looked like a full sold out game. I'm not sure if it was 100% full, but it was still a packed arena. Like
I would say there were more fans. I would say there were more empty seats at the Saddledome than there were at the Edmonton game. So, it was really honestly nothing negative to say at all about the Edmonton arena, the experience, the fan interaction. There were lots of Calgary fans there. There's obviously lots of Edmonton fans there. Not a single chirp session, no one being rude to each other. And I'm sure that obviously happens, but we didn't experience any of it. Everyone was very nice to each other. Even, just kind of, the Calgary fan would stand up, or I know it wasn't Calgary, it was Ottawa, sorry. Ottawa fans, when there's a whole section kind of off to our left, when Ottawa scored, they would get up and stuff, and no one did anything, no one threw anything at them or whatever. And maybe that is a little bit different when it is, Calgary versus Edmonton. But for Ottawa, not a single negative interaction between the two fan bases
that we saw.
Yeah, it was awesome, and I was looking for that stuff. I was specifically looking, and I didn't see anything negative, so that was great.
And the best part was they wore their third jerseys, and I didn't have to see their awful home jerseys.
Yeah, and they scored 9 goals in that game. We got to see 9 goals in that game. It was great.
Yeah, really fun time.
Yeah, we didn't have a horse in the race.
Nope, we were just
watching
back
hockey.
and watch, and
it was great. So all really positive things to say about Edmonton.
I think all the players I wanted to see score for both teams scored. Yeah. Stützle had 2. I know Mika really wanted Giroux to score, but
he did. Yeah,
came close.
So close.
McDavid had an empty nets. Draisaitl had 2. It was just a really fun time.
Yeah, it was great. And then a couple of days passed. We did some driving in the mountains, came back into Calgary, and then boom, Saturday we went to go see Calgary play Dallas.
Yeah.
This was the game that I was most excited for from a hockey standpoint because there's a lot of players in Dallas that I really, really liked. Spoiler alert, I was cheering for Dallas in this game.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have been devastated by any means if Calgary won. I just wanted to see some really good hockey. So walking to the arena from the train was definitely different than walking from our hotel in Edmonton to the arena.
Yeah.
I would say it's about the same distance.
Yeah, we probably walked about the same distance.
Very different experience. And now that's not necessarily Calgary's fault.
There's a lot of construction in that area.
So it's really hard to compare, I guess. And by the pictures that they put up on the construction walls and stuff, it looks going to look like absolutely beautiful eventually there, which is great. But it was not the best experience walking through all the construction and stuff. But anyways, walking up to the building, it's way bigger once you get up to it than it does look like from far away. It looks kind of small from far away, but once you get up there, it's pretty neat.
It's an arena.
Yeah, it's an arena. Lots of stairs to walk up when you first get there, which is classic arena.
Yeah.
And then you get in, and it's pretty small.
Yeah.
There's
the
not
concourse,
a lot of
the
room.
main. It's very tight.
Yeah, and then you show me the team store, and it was about the size of the room that we're in right now.
Yeah.
And
they got a couple smaller ones throughout the arena, but none of them are that big.
Yeah. Now, obviously,
and they all have the same stuff, so it's not like you go to one and find something different.
Yeah, exactly. it's not a fair comparison.
No.
Because one arena was built in 2018-ish, and the other arena, the Calgary one, was built in, I don't even know, the early
1820s?
1820s. The 80s at some point, probably. So, or if maybe the 70s for the, no, 80s. I don't know.
It was for the Olympics
Yeah.
thing or whatever. I don't know.
So it's a really hard comparison, but I mean, it's the only thing that we can compare. Now we know that Calgary's in need of a new arena.
Yeah.
But this, for the purpose of this video, we're going to be talking about Saddledome because that's the entire point of this video. So the team store, by far, Edmonton wins that.
100%.
It wasn't even close.
Flame fans can't even argue that.
Nope.
Sorry.
It's not. If you think that the Calgary team store is better than the Edmonton team store official one at the arena, you are biased. But the vibe was about the same. Like everyone was really happy coming in and stuff. Obviously, like you said, it was tighter, not as much room. So getting to, get the store to get a drink or some food was a little bit more challenging. Getting to the bathroom was a little bit more challenging.
Bathrooms are terrible in the Saddledome.
Yeah, bathrooms.
Did you go to the bathroom in either arena?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't.
Like, just like the way the urinals are set up and the stalls, like, I think some of the Saddledome like stalls are like 2 in the bathroom, whereas Edmonton had like multiple.
Oh, really?
Like, if you had to take a good dump, there was lots of options.
I thought I did go in Calgary, but it was the Calgary Tower that I went to the bathroom.
Yeah,
not the Saddledome.
But it's a comparison that has to be made. The bathrooms in Edmonton far superior as well.
Well, there you go, straight from a bathroom user himself.
Yeah.
But just getting around was just a lot more challenging. Just less room and tighter space. So there were multiple times where I had to stop and let someone go, or walk around someone, or try.
We got separated a lot. Like,
we did get separated.
We lost
a lot,
Miko
actually.
there for a solid 2 or 3 minutes there.
Yeah. But getting to the bottom section where we watched the warm-ups was relatively easy. We had to walk down this like hallway, the enclosed hallway, which was a little bit weird, but it was fine when we were down there, and it was nice. The seats were fine, not as nice as Edmonton, but the seats were fine.
We saw the whole ice arena in Calgary. Like, there was where we were in Edmonton, we couldn't quite see right in front of, like, behind the nets where closest to us, but it was still really good seats.
Mm-hmm.
But in Calgary, you could argue they were better seats. I mean, they were higher up, but you had a whole view of everything.
Yeah, I mean, it was far away. There was no question, but what we could actually see
weren't quite press level. That's for sure. We weren't that high up, but we were still pretty high up.
Yeah, I would say that our view would not translate that well on camera. I mean, I took video and I'll put it up on the screen, obviously, as we're talking, but the actual experience in person was excellent.
100%.
We could tell whatever player was on the ice. We could see the puck so easily.
Yep.
It was both very different experiences. Both
very
good
for actually watching the game itself.
Yeah. There were some annoying people around us in the Calgary game. Not so much the Edmonton game. There's kind of a one weird dude, but I mean has nothing to do with the arenas.
No, absolutely. And you could sit somewhere else and not have that problem, or vice versa in the other arena.
Now, the actual fan experience at the Saddledome was excellent.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and just a reference.
Very interactive.
Reference the date. It's a Tuesday versus Saturday, so again, that might be something to do with it. But there were so many giveaways. There were so many prizes. Just see pizzas falling from the ceiling, and there was just all kinds of stuff going on constantly at the Calgary game. It was a really, really enjoyable fan experience. And
one lucky fan won a trip to Vegas, thanks to Mackenzie Weegar. That was really cool to see.
That was awesome.
And it was just all around just an absolutely really fun night.
Yeah, I have
we got to see overtime.
Yes, we got to see overtime, which I was hoping for.
I wanted a shootout, but
yeah, if I could have, if you asked me, how do you want this game to end? Like, what do you want to see as a hockey fan? I would have said a Dallas win in overtime.
And it was a high-scoring Dallas win in overtime.
Yeah, we saw 10
goals. I think in total,
it was
between both games.
6-5 Dallas, and then 9 was 20 goals total. Yeah, because I see 20 goals between
both games.
Both games, so you can compare them, but you can't.
Yeah,
like that's really kind of what it comes down to. There's great things in Calgary. I like the vibe a little bit more. There was more fan interaction. There was more cheering. They were really, really louder than Edmonton.
It was a very loud arena, but that could become the acoustics of an older arena.
Could be, but the actual arena itself in Edmonton was so much better. The team store was awesome. the getting around was awesome.
I think you liked the flames shooting out when the flames
Oh yeah, I
scored.
forgot
That was
about
cool.
that. The flames that shot out.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
That was really cool. The goal horn is
Horn's
awesome.
awesome. They changed the song for that game for 80s night.
Oh yeah.
And that sucked. The TNT one is way better, but it was a lot of fun.
I guess all that to say, number one, do it for yourself so you can see both arenas if you can.
Yeah.
But both were very enjoyable experiences.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I think Calgary fans are too hard on Edmonton as a city and that arena, or that fan base maybe.
I'm guilty of that.
And Edmonton fans are too hard on Calgary and the Saddledome. If an Edmonton fan went to the Saddledome objectively as a hockey fan, they would have a good time. We had a good time.
Yeah, we did.
So I think there's negative things you can say about both places, maybe more with Calgary because of the arena, but you're going to have a good time. I had a great time at both places. I really don't have many negative things to say overall. So happy that I went to both arenas. And I mean, it's obvious that Calgary needs an arena upgrade. You didn't need to watch this video to get that opinion. No. That's just a fact. Yeah. So, yeah. Good.
We had our third person leave today. Mika flew back to Finland. He's probably in the air right now. He wanted his opinion to be known that both arenas were, and I quote, great.
Great. Yeah, I asked him individually what he thought of the Edmonton experience. He said great. And then the Calgary experience, great.
Yeah.
So very Finnish answer, just to the point. So
exactly.
There you go. So that kind of wraps up our opinion or our experience, I guess, of both arenas. And I hope you can, if you can get out there this way, whether you're in America or Europe or Eastern Canada like me, if you ever get a chance to be in this area, definitely go see a game at Rogers Place.
And drive down through Jasper and Banff and come back to Calgary and watch a game there.
Yeah, and then see a game in the Saddledome. And I think you'll have a good time. I know you will. So thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Kale, thanks for joining me for this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Adios.